Hello, Internet. It's been a few days. Definitely feeling better than the last time I updated. That was rough. I mentioned that I was vomiting, dry heaving, sleeping a lot, just completely exhausted, and just overall just really feeling very, very sick. Um, Other fun side effects included copious nosebleeds, which seem to be the norm for me now, and this disgusting, slimy coating on my tongue that still hasn't really gone away. And I mean, it's sort of like just imagine just your tongue covered in mucus all the time. And it's, ugh. Um, my feet and hands have been kind of fuzzy and tingling. Sort of like the pins and needles feeling that I would get if I touched something cold, but now just like all the time. Um, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not fun. Uh, let's see what else. That's really it for what I was going through, what I'm still going through. Uh, I mentioned that my mother came to visit. I was going to include her in a video, but that just didn't work out. She was only around for a couple of days, and most of that time I just was too sick to film. Uh, um, Not a whole lot else to talk about. Just I went to get my new Lasta shot. That's the white cell booster shot that I get after each chemo treatment, just to make sure that my white cells don't drop below a certain level, and that's always fun. I'm sure I've mentioned several times that it hurts going in, and it takes 30 seconds to inject, and it makes me feel not good. Um, and while I was there, the nurse that did the injection, we just got to talking, and it's so easy for me to distance myself from this emotionally. I intellectualize everything. I turn it into a fact sheet, just a list of things that are happening rather than a subjective experience. But apropos of nothing, while she's injecting this thing into my arm, I said, I hope this never happens to you. And I almost burst into tears because I meant it. I really meant it. That the thought of this happening to another person makes me legitimately sad. And, you know, and she was like, I'm sorry this is happening to you. And we talked a little bit about it, and it was nice to it was nice to talk about it in a sort of a candid way with somebody who lent a sympathetic ear, that wasn't a friend or a family member or somebody who has kind of been with me on this since the start. Talk to somebody new about it. Um, I mean, not especially new. She's injected this Neulasta shot into me before, but just I don't know. Just it felt nice to have that sort of conversation with someone that I wasn't used to talking to about it, and it was nice to hear a heartfelt uh, sympathy from someone else like that. I guess that's really the only way that I can have this feel real to me is in how it relates to other people, because how it relates to me is it's a thing that exists. Um, I don't know how to process that, but when I talk to somebody else and I think of like them going through this, that's when it's real, because it just kind of hits me in a different place. And there are times when I've gone in for chemo and I see other people sitting in those chairs getting hit with the same chemicals I am, and suffering for it, but not, not, they're not letting it crush them. And I'll see them come in with like friends or family, and they'll sit and they'll talk, or they'll read, or they'll sleep. They just do it. And sometimes they'll come in, with a smile on their face, and joke around with the nurses and the doctors. And I can't really do that. I don't tend to talk very much when I go in for my chemo. I go in, I keep my head down, I do it, and then I leave. I don't want it to be some experience. I want it to just be over with as soon as possible. I dread it more and more each time. This past time I dreaded it so much, and sure enough it turned out to be awful. And now I've got to go back next Thursday and do it again. And the possibility exists that I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. I don't know how to deal with that yet. I still haven't really dealt with that yet. This last time I wasn't able to talk to the oncologist. I talked to the nurse practitioner. So I asked her a few questions about it, and she didn't really have a lot of answers. This next time I'll get to meet with the oncologist, and I'll have a lot of questions to ask him about this. Like first and foremost, if this is lifelong, can we ease up on the chemo a bit? Like, seriously, this is killing me. And I mean, they said that they're being more aggressive with this than they normally would because of my youth, because I'm 39 instead of 69. But I can't continue like this for the rest of my life. I honestly think I would rather die. I'm starting to hit my limit, which is kind of ironic because I've only got 2 planned sessions left, so I don't know. I'm still, like, I look back and I've come so far, and then to be told that they're moving the finish line to much further away than what I had originally thought. It's just so much worse. And I have friends and I have family, and they are there for me, but they're not physically present. They can't be, they have lives. So a lot of this I am going through alone. My mother, when she came to visit, that was the first time anybody had been there for my chemo. Of course, it completely knocked me out, so I slept most of the time. It felt nice, though, to have somebody there, to have somebody sitting next to me. Even if we didn't talk, it felt nice. Especially, my mom. She's getting up there in years, so, who knows how much longer any of us have, really. Like, I might have a shorter lifespan than I thought, but then again, anything can happen. So it's important that we take the time to spend, time with each other as much as possible. kind of rambling. Now this is a very rambly video, so, and much longer than I normally make them, so I'm sorry for that. If you stuck with this, for this long, thank you. I try to keep these videos as short as possible because I realize that as important as these videos are to me, to some random viewer on YouTube, it's like, ugh, dude, get on with it, Um, yeah, I'll wrap this one up. Um, I guess I wish that I had a more consistent presence in my life. Somebody who could physically be there to kind of not really do anything, They don't have to do anything. They don't have to help me in any way. Just be there, you know. Just to commiserate and not not coddle me or poor baby me, but just to be there. I wish I had that more. Anyway, I'll update again soon. Um, I'll try to do that later in the week about something or other, but we'll see. And I'll let you know how the side effects are going. So until next time, take care.